The thoroughbred is a magnificent animal, bred for speed, bred to compete, the sport of kings.
Wow, West Coast has it by 6.
It's the all-new Let's Go Racing from Parks Casino and Racetrack. It's action-packed and fun for the entire family.
3 of them are right together with 1 furlong to go.
Let's Go Racing is brought to you by the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association. It's fun to see them run.
Welcome to Let's Go Racing. I'm Danny Gibson, here joining you with Dick Girardi. We're coming to you from Parks Racing to bring you all the latest in horse racing and news from around the country. On today's show, 2-year-old Pennsylvania breds take their shot in the Pennsylvania Nursery Stakes here at Parks Racing. Will we see another Smarty Jones in the making? Also, Parks horses take on the Claiming Crown at Gulfstream Park, and at Aqueduct, a Hall of Fame trainer dominates on their big stakes card. So lots going around the country, but first we have to start with the big news in horse racing. Our Kentucky Derby winner did die on the racetrack from an apparent heart attack.
Yeah, it just happened earlier in the week, Danny, right after a workout. Medinas Spirit, look, it's really been ill-fated in every way ever since he won the Derby. A week later, it came out that he tested positive for an anti-inflammatory betamethasone. And then we've been trying to figure out, how did he get it? Baffert said they didn't inject him. And then just last Friday, literally 8 days ago, his attorney, Craig Robertson, came out and said, look, we found, George Mayo in New York found that it was part of the ointment, not an injection. So people are starting to think it's looking up for a Medinas Spirit. Nobody knew how it was going to play out in Kentucky once they get to the racing commission. And then this happens? I mean, really? It's just been a crazy run.
Anyway, you look at it, like you said, it's a shame.
It
people are going to conclude what they want.
Correct.
Unfortunately, heart attacks happen all the time, even in the healthiest of people and athletes.
They do, but unfortunately, because of the cloud already around this horse, people will come to conclusions. At some point, we'll get the results of the necropsy, and hopefully people will accept whatever those findings are. But look, conspiracy theories are everywhere with us now. Everybody thinks they know what happened. I can tell you from my standpoint, I don't know what happened.
Right.
I don't know what happened in Kentucky at the Derby. I do know this. I knew Gary Young, who purchased the horse. Gary Young's a friend. They did a great job with this horse. He was a neat horse. He ran great in the Breeders' Cup. Just a fun horse, and you just hate for this to happen to any owner or trainer in the game.
Absolutely. It's a shame that it ended this way, and we hope horse racing can move forward. There's a lot of people that just truly love these horses. These equine athletes are everything to us.
Yeah, and it's a specific problem because the biggest name in the sport, Bob Baffert, is associated with Medinas Spirit. And again, I know Bob pretty well, but there are people that have opinions about him. Not always correct opinions, but that's a problem for the game. When your biggest name trainer is associated with horse tests positive, nobody wants to look beyond the headlines.
Absolutely, it never sounds good. Well, let's get to some horse racing right here at Parks. All the fun was happening here at Parks. It was the Pennsylvania breds, 2-year-olds taking their shot in the Pennsylvania Nursery Stakes, going 6 furlongs, $200,000 on the line. And our post-time favorite changed. It's now Witty, the number 6 horse, at 2-1 for new trainer McLean Hendricks. That's the son of owner and breeder Elizabeth Merriman.
Yeah, and what's interesting here, Danny, is this was the maiden race back on the 25th of October that you put on the show. You said, watch out for this maiden race. These horses are going to come back in the PA Nursery. Not only they come back, but this horse is the favorite, and he was dazzling in that maiden race here in late October.
We certainly had a feeling about him, and our next horse we're going to talk about, our second choice, Dance Code, has been making all the right moves for trainer Juan Vasquez, coming in second choice at 7-2 odds.
Right, remember he ran in the Sanford and the Saratoga Special against some really, really good 2-year-olds, including Wit, not Witty, but Wit, and then he came here locally in a much easier spot, won pretty convincingly for Juan.
Well, a solid field at 10 in our Pennsylvania Nursery Stakes. Here's the call from announcer Chris Griffin.
They got 4 furlongs left to go. Whispering Springs has got a length margin here on Dr. Stevens. Second, Witty has got a dream run at the rail. Here comes Witty, who's progressing from third, about to challenge for second as Whispering Spring gets away a little bit. Whispering Springs, there's Witty. Dropping back was Uncle Buddy. Trying to rally on his Disco Ebo out wide, and Whitty is getting closer to Whispering Springs, is in the clear, and here comes Whitty, who means business. They've got a quarter-mile left to go. It's Whispering Springs with the lead, but Whitty is right to the outside, is ready to challenge. Also down towards the inside, Uncle Buddy is re-rallies center, mid-Matty down the center of the racetrack, but it's Whitty who's in front. Whitty is clear. Uncle Buddy is chasing down towards the inside. Vine Jet, Disco Ebo, Dance Code from the back. Whitty has a 16th to go. It's going to be a big victory here for McLean Hendricks. Carol Cedeno. Whitty, the half-brother to Caravelle, is now a stakes winner.
Whitty and Carol Cedeno getting it done. They were dominant winners in the Pennsylvania Nursery Stakes. What are your thoughts on this?
Really impressive. Look, it's set up nicely. There was speed on speed on speed, so they were going to go fast. Carol knew that. The race set up perfectly, but the horse has got to do it. Really impressive. I think they're going to have a lot of fun with this horse in 2022 and a lot of these PA-bred races around the state.
I love the way Whitty looked in the paddock and warming up. He's just one cool dude, and I was talking to trainer McLean, and they said he just does everything with ease. He's one cool customer. Here's more with the winning connections with Dick Girardi.
How confident were you on this horse?
I was confident. I don't get on too many times in the morning, but I get on once. And before he ran first time out, and I only gallop him, and I told my agent he's gonna be a nice horse. If the way I think he's gonna be a stakes horse, and when I see 7 furlongs, I know he's gonna get that one.
Did you like the fact that there was all that early speed in this race and it sort of set up on paper pretty good?
Yeah. When I see the speed, I said that's gonna be even perfect for me.
Lizzie, anytime you can win one of these 200,000s, what's that like?
Oh, that's pretty special. 200 is my biggest win.
Biggest ever in your career?
Purse-wise, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, half to Caravelle, who obviously has had a great run for you. What is it like to keep it all in the family, these nice PA breds?
Oh, it's so fun when you raise them from day one, and they just turn out like that. It's such a dream come true. It's amazing.
Is this your son that's training this horse?
Yeah.
Had he ever had a winner before?
This was his first. Way to break your maiden.
To break your maiden in a 200,000, how do you top this one?
I don't know. Stakes winner next, you know. No, it's a very special win because obviously my mom raised him as a foal, and so we were just a family connection, and just delighted to see how impressive of a horse he was just from the day we put tack on him. Just everything he does just keeps impressing us. So.
How was it to do this for your mom?
Very special, very special. She's obviously been a big supporter of mine my whole life, taught me pretty much everything I know, along with my dad, Ricky Hendricks. So it was very special to get this done. High pressure trainer, high pressure owner too. So.
And she said she bred the owner, or she bred the horse and the trainer.
Bred the horse and the trainer, yeah, exactly.
Whitty, one cool Pennsylvania bred, and he's got a very famous half-sister, Caravelle.
Indeed. Caravelle is the horse we saw her run here. Remember, that's the horse that Lizzie had to sell this summer, part to Bobby Flay, ran the Breeders' Cup, a really, really neat horse. And she was telling us as we were talking to her, she's got a lot more of the family to come. The mare's only 9 years old, so they will have some more Whitties, maybe even hopefully as good as Whitty and Caravelle in the future.
And what about the breakout star, McLean Hendricks, Elizabeth Merriman's son? That was his first race as a trainer, first win in a stakes race.
Yeah, how about that? That's hard to start your career with a $200,000 race, because Lizzie told us that was the biggest purse she's ever won, so
wow.
Her son is the trainer.
Legendary horse racing family, as me and Dick were talking about earlier. Huge congratulations to them. We're going to head to our first break. When we come back, we're going to have stakes action from around the country. Stick around. Let's Go Racing. We'll be right back.
I don't usually root and scream, but I was up there riding her from the quarter pole for a while.
Looking to join the thrill and excitement of thoroughbred racehorse ownership? Pewter Stable can get you started. With more than 25 years of experience under the leadership of Greg and Kate DeMasi, Pewter Stable is one of the industry's leaders in racing partnerships, winning hundreds of races and millions of dollars at racetracks all over the Mid-Atlantic, including New York. No markup, no management fees makes our partnerships unique and affordable. We are Pewter Stable.
If you want action and you want it now, you got to get the new Parks Racing mobile app. Wager and watch thoroughbred and harness racing from around the world. With the Parks Racing mobile app, it's easy to open and fund your account. Then place your wagers and cheer on your horse as they thunder down the stretch. With the Parks Racing mobile app, you'll easily make withdrawal requests, view the previous day's replays and results. Plus, open any new account now and you'll be automatically enrolled in a Parks Rewards program. The more you wager, the more you earn. Get the new Parks Racing mobile app and get in on the action. Welcome back to Let's Go Racing, our national coverage brought to you by the Chapman Auto Group. If their emblem's not on the back of your car or truck, well, you did pay too much. And let's head to the Claiming Crown at Gulfstream Park. I was there in attendance following all the Parks horses. I had a fabulous time, but the highlight was this race we're going to show you. It was the $80,000 glass slipper, 1-turn mile. And our favorite is Don't Get Cozy, even money for Antonio Sano. And you guys might remember him from Gunnevera fame.
Yeah, indeed. He's had some good horses. This horse won 3 out of 4, and the money came pouring in on this filly right at the end of the
Second choice is Pretty Rachel for Kent Sweezy and our friend Paco Lopez, who was on Fuego down in Gulfstream that day.
Paco seems like he's always on fire. But the horse we're looking at, keep your eye on as you're watching, is the 7 Sweet Bellamine. That is the Parks connection. Scott Lake, Sylvester Gonzalez. This horse, remember, claimed for $32,000, Danny. Has won 6 of 7 since Scott claimed her, including the $100,000 here on Labor Day.
Scott really wanted this filly. Some people tried to talk him out of it, but he said, just drop the slip, just drop the slip. Here's our friend Pete Aiello with the call of the Claiming Crown glass slipper.
With the lead belonging to Tis Possible Dear. In between horses and Willoughby Gap is alongside the leader. Papa's Little Girl on the outside, and Traves is punching forward toward the rail. In between runners, that's Sweet Bellamine on the far outside, and Our Fantasy. Then the gray, Let's Be Honest, 2 back to race favorite Don't Get Cozy. She's at the back of the field alongside La Vie as they complete a quarter in an aggressive 22 and 4. Past the 5/8, Miguel Vasquez and Traves down inside with the advantage. Second to Tis Possible Dear, Willoughby Gap is third. Pretty Rachel is there fourth, bracketed in by a wide running Papa's Little Girl. At the inside and Sweet Bellamine. Wide on the course, Our Fantasy begins to gain some ground with Let's Be Honest. Don't Get Cozy has been coaxed along to get into her position by Leonel Reyes, and that position is down inside with traffic ahead of her. The trailer is La Vie, the leader is Traves, but not for long. Here's Our Fantasy with a big sweeping move under Zayas, and Our Fantasy has now made a clear lead. Trying to rally with her is Let's Be Honest, the gray on the outside. Looking for room, Sweet Bellamine, Don't Get Cozy, who was all the way down inside. Now she's going to have to swing to the center of the racetrack, and she still has traffic to overcome. Our Fantasy gets all the right things to happen. She's an 1/8 of a mile from home with work to do. Let's Be Honest, Sweet Bellamine, Don't Get Cozy, and Papa's Little Girl. Our Fantasy is on the ropes, but she's still in front. Sweet Bellamine, the danger between. Here's Sweet Bellamine surging. It's too close to call.
Well, Sweet Wilhelmina and jockey Sylvester Gonzalez getting the win. Very exciting. Get up right in time at the wire.
Yeah, what a claim. And this week I wrote about this race and obviously the PA Nursery. Had some great races, not here at Parks, but from Parks horses. And Scott Lake's had a lot of good claims. Danny, this would go right up. This horse has already won $200,000 since that claim in June.
Lots of high fives, lots of hugs. I was really happy to be here. Here's more on the win.
Scott, the Claiming Crown is near and dear to your heart. What was it like to get back in the winner's circle with Sweet Bellamine on Saturday?
Oh, it was great. I mean, the first time since Canterbury ran it, it's the first time I ran in it, and it was a lot of fun.
You have had a lot of great claims in your life. $32,000 for this filly's one over 200. Where does this one rank?
She ranks pretty far up there, right behind Shake You Down and Outcash'em and a couple other horses, but she's definitely one of my favorites.
When you're watching the race and there's trouble on the turn, you're thinking what?
I'm thinking good, because every time she runs and gets in trouble, she tries even harder. I watched her replays before we claimed her, and every race she got in trouble, she just kept coming and coming and coming.
Very exciting race. When we saw the time to go, I asked her, and she responded very well. We were able to get up there on time, and very exciting. Thank you, Scott, for bringing me out today, and Bobby Moscow, all them guys, they're great guys, So we're bringing this one home to Philly.
Really happy for trainer Scott Lake and owner Rich Siviardone. That was his dream to win a Claiming Crown, and he was happy.
And Scott, in the story I wrote, Danny gives Rich huge credit because he said he wouldn't have nominated for the $100,000 here if it wasn't for Rich, and wouldn't have run in this race if it wasn't for Rich. So he got aggressive, worked out really well.
And I want to thank them for my awesome pre-race dinner at Billy Stone Crabs. It was awesome. Thanks, Scott and
Stone
Rich.
Crabs.
Yeah.
Oh, Jenny, but you didn't bring any back with you. What's the matter with you?
They're in my bag. We're going to head to Aqueduct. It was the Grade 1 Cigar Mile, $750,000 on the line. And our post-time favorite is the number 3 American Revolution, coming in at 5-2. Gets jockey Luis Saez for Todd Pletcher.
And remember, we saw him here, Danny, in the PA Derby, ran 3rd behind Hot Rod Charlie at Midnight Bourbon, and after that went in with New York Reds and just annihilated the field, winning by a pole and got 108 buyer, which is why he's favored in an open stakes race at Grade 1.
And Todd Pletcher has the second choice, Following C. He gets Johnny Velasquez 7-2 at post time.
Yeah, and Following C, most recently 3rd, and a really good 3rd in the Breeders' Cup with a little bit of traffic at the top of the stretch. Ran beautifully in that race after winning the Vosburg before that.
Well, let's see if Todd can get it done. Here's the call of the Cigar Mile.
Following C leads here by 3/4 of a length after an opening quarter mile in 23 seconds. Ginobili on the outside runs second. Plainsman is down at the rail in 3rd. Half mile in 46 seconds. And it is Following C, the leader here by a half length. Ginobili's on the outside running in 2nd. American Revolution looks to advance in between horses. Down at the rail is a Plainsman. And on the outside it is Olympiad. Then Code of Honor in 6th, about 5 lengths from the lead. Followed by Independence Hall and Pipeline. And they are at the top of the stretch. Here is Ginobili on the outside to take the lead from Following C. Ginobili's in front. Following C continues to battle on. American Revolution and Plainsman appeared to bump there as they pass the 8th pole. It is Following C who has come back again down at the rail. Here's American Revolution charging up on the outside. Fireworks in the stretch here in the Cigar Mile. American Revolution and Following C and American Revolution.
And a Todd Pletcher exacta with American Revolution getting the win.
Yeah, I thought Following C had it a number of times, but I don't think Todd was unhappy. As you said, Todd Pletcher exacta, as we'll see, to cap off a rather large Saturday at Aqueduct for the Todd squad.
Well, let's keep it going at Aqueduct. It was the Grade 2 Remsen Stakes, a 1 1/8 miles. $250,000 for 2-year-olds, and our post-time favorite is Zandon. Gets Johnny Velasquez for trainer Chad Brown.
Yeah, it was really close in the betting between Zandon and Mo Donegal. One, as Danny said, was 6-5, the other 7-5. But yeah, this horse for Chad, a son of Upstart, first start, really, really impressive. And these days, they've never done this in the old days, but these days they go right from maiden right into a graded stake. And Mo Donegal, again, also a really impressive maiden winner, and son of probably Todd, well, certainly Todd's best 2-year-old. Uncle Mo was a 2-year-old champ. He was awesome as a 2-year-old.
Can't forget him for Rapoli Racing. And we have the 2 park shooters, Eloquist and Midnight Chrome. We'll see how they fare. Here's the call of the Remsen Stakes.
From Another Mother leads here by a half length. Midnight Chrome in 2nd. Zandon is next in 3rd with Mo Donegal down at the rail. Then it is Mr. Jefferson and Hoo That's Me as they race midway up the backstretch. From Another Mother, 3/4 of a length. Half mile posted in 51-2. From Another Mother is the leader. Midnight Chrome is next in 2nd. Mo Donegal and Zandon, the 2 favorites, are right together 3rd and 4th. Then Mr. Jefferson and Hoo That's Me. Farther back, Judge Davis. And the trailer is Eloquist as the field goes around the far turn. From Another Mother, narrowly, Midnight Chrome now moves right alongside. It is Midnight Chrome on the outside. From Another Mother down at the rail. Now Zandon begins to pick it up. Far outside, it's Mr. Jefferson. Mo Donegal is in behind horses. Then Hoo That's Me and Judge Davis. The field is at the top of the stretch. Here's Mr. Jefferson. Here's Zandon. On the extreme outside is Mo Donegal, who's coming on now. Here is Mo Donegal to take the lead from Zandon inside the 8th pole. Zandon battles on. Mo Donegal on the outside. It's Mo Donegal and Zandon. They are heads apart as they come on for the finish, and it's going to be tight here in the Remsen, and it's a photo finish.
And Mo Donegal getting the win with jockey Irad Ortiz, who had a very controversial weekend. We'll talk about that a little later. But another win for our man Todd.
Yeah, there was an objection in the race. No change. Yeah, Todd wins 2 of them. It turns out he's going to win 3 of them. But yeah, he had a huge day. Mo Donegal, as Todd says, will probably wait for the Fountain of Youth in March and then maybe go to the Florida Derby and try to get to Kentucky for the big race. And I thought the Parks horses ran okay, right? The 5 for Tyler Service. Midnight Chrome ran 3rd. Eloquist just got too far behind. Didn't run too bad. Maybe we'll see. Maybe he'll end up in Florida with Butch.
Yeah, well, there's a respectable third for Midnight Chrome for Tyler Service.
At
He
40
has
to
a
1.
stable up at Belmont this winter.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good for Tyler. He's off to a great start in his career.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to head to another break. When we come back, we're going to have our jockey and trainer of the week and more racing, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Let's Go Racing.
Turning for Home is a nonprofit that has provided nearly 2,800 former racehorses with a safe retirement. The program was created through the foresight of the Pennsylvania Thoroughbred Horsemen's Association.
We all love animals, and to give back to something that helps us so much, it's a great thing.
Responding to the need for a better system that addressed the uncertain future for the retiring equine population at Parks Racing, the PTHA rallied horsemen to support the program.
These horses can do anything from hunter jumpers to western to therapeutic riding.
Turning for Home became the first on-track retirement program at a year-round racetrack.
We want to make sure that our horses that have run so well for us over the years get the great opportunity to get a new vocation.
Out of everything that we've done in Pennsylvania for racing, I think that's the thing we can be most proud of.
If you would like to help these amazing animals find a great second career and forever home, please give us a call or contact us at turningforhome.org.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our jockey and trainer of the week is brought to you by Turning for Home, our racehorse retirement program right here at Parks Racing. And we have another great Turning for Home spotlight horse for you, Graze the Bar. And we have a little bit of a story with him and his famous halter. So Graze the Bar was retired by trainer Lou Linder, and he needed rehabilitation for an injury. So he went to one of our partner farms in South Jersey, Black Oak Farm. They always do an excellent job as they did transitioning this horse off the racetrack. Then Graze went on to a hunter farm. So this opened up for a new horse to come to Black Oak Farm. This one's retired by trainer Scott Lake, Comfortably Cool. He went to the same farm Graze the Bar went to. They put him in the same stall, and they noticed something very familiar. Cool was wearing the same halter. It was Graze the Bar's halter. It said Graze the Bar, and he has the same exact personality. He likes to flip his lip and smile, as you see in these pictures. And Graze was with Black Oak Farm for so long, so they missed having him. So they feel like they have a little piece of him with Cool being there.
Awesome.
And it's just cool. So many amazing Turning for Home people touch these horses, and we know Cool's going to get his very own family soon.
Absolutely. That's great stuff. Can't wait to see where he ends up.
Well, our jockey of the week is Sylvester Gonzalez. And not for what he did here at Parks. He shipped down to Gulfstream. He had 2 wins, one for Bobby Moscow on Friday, one for Scott Lake on Saturday. It's not easy to win races down there.
It is not. Sylvester is having himself a year, right? I mean, we've known that for a while. I think he's at 87 wins, almost $3 million in earnings. So yeah, he's had quite the run here.
And he's got super agent Joe Hampshire.
Always helpful to have Joe in your corner.
Well, this leads to our trainer of the week, none other than Scott Lake. I mean, not only did he win with Sweet Wilhelmina in the Claiming Crown, Monday he had 2 wins in a second, but he got the exacta in 1 race.
Yeah, and Sweet Wilhelmina, Danny, was win number 6,225 for Scott Lake. And I hope one day, I know he's not had the big grade 1 winners and all that, but I hope one day he's recognized like King Leatherberry was late in his career, hopefully not as late in his career. He should be in the Hall of Fame someday. Scott has had an incredible training run.
Absolutely, and one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
No
Scott
doubt.
said for the first time, he's in one place. All his horses are here at Parks.
Good for him. I mean, yeah, there were those times, as we know, he was running horses from Saratoga to Laurel, and he was putting 100,000 miles on his car. That's calmed down. That's when he was winning 550, 600 races a year, but he's still really good. He's always been good, not a sharper person in the sport.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into some race recap brought to you by the Pewter Stable. Check them out at pewterstable.com. A great partnership. Get in the game with them. Let's go back to Aqueduct. It was the Grade 3 Go for Juan, $250,000, 1 mile, and it's all about one horse, the number 2, Lady Rocket.
Yeah, this was not Todd Pletcher. This was Brad Cox. Frank Pletcher names all his horses something Rocket, and he's partners here with our buddy Marshall Graham in 10 Strike Racing in this filly, and she just annihilates the field. Wins by 9. Actually ran a little bit faster than the Cigar Mile, 0.16 faster than the Cigar Mile. Think about that. Well, was the Cigar Mile a slow race? No. She got 106 by her. Lady Rocket was flying.
She was, and she gets jockey Irad Ortiz. Kind of cool to see him team up with Brad Cox. You don't see that as much.
You don't, but if you're running in New York, why wouldn't you get IRAD if you can?
Absolutely.
And you can't for a while because he's suspended, but that's another story.
He's going to have a 30-day vacation. I'm sure he'll find plenty of stuff to do.
I'm sure he will.
Well, let's stick with Aqueduct. It was the Grade 2 Demoiselle Stakes for our 2-year-old fillies going 1 1/8 miles, $250,000 on the line. Keep your eye on the number 7 with Manny Franco. They're going to the lead.
Yeah, they're going to the lead, but here comes the 5 Nest, that man Irad Ortiz, and that man Todd Pletcher, Pewter Stable. This is going to be Todd's 3rd graded win of the afternoon. Actually, was in the middle of the 3, but you get the point. Up by a neck at the wire for Nest, a daughter of the great Curlin.
And I'm sure it's great to do that with Rapoli, Mike Rapoli, longtime owner and friend of Todd Pletcher. I'm sure they had a really good celebratory dinner.
Yeah, Mike is very good at celebrations, and for people that remember, Mike introduced Todd when Todd was inducted formally into the Hall of Fame this summer at Saratoga Springs.
I would like to be at that dinner. I'm sure it was good food. We're going to head out west. It's Los Alamitos, the Grade 1 Starlet, going 1 16 miles for the 2-year-old fillies. And yeah, Ida, she's up front, and she's going to get a nice position outside. You're going to see her setting the pace off the 3.
Yeah, just always in the race, Danny. It was just a question, was she eventually going to be good enough? And daughter of Munnings, and is going to win by about a 1/2 length at the wire. And this is the 8th Starlet win for Bob Baffert, which ties him all-time with the man whose career he's kind of emulated, Dwayne Lucas.
Absolutely. I love Munnings. We saw a really cool Munnings filly run here at Parks this week. Early edition, win by 22 lengths.
Yes, we did.
Those Munnings are impressive. And he's using jockey Juan Hernandez quite a bit, doing well with him.
He's a good rider.
Well, it's time for Eye on Racing. Lots of stakes all around. We have the Grade 3 Mr. Prospector down at Gulfstream Park. I won't be there for that one.
No, you're not going back for this weekend?
Not this
What's the matter, Danny? I thought you were a regular at Gulfstream.
And Fairgrounds, they have 7 Louisiana bred stakes, and the Garland of Roses at the Big A. That's kind of the big stuff going on.
So the championship meet has now started at Gulfstream, so we'll get a lot of stakes out of there. And Oaklawn is running in Fairgrounds in New York, so we will have action for you on Let's Go Racing.
Well, it's time for our final break. We'll be back for news and notes. Stick around on Let's Go Racing.
Racehorses are pampered,
treated with care, and loved.
Nothing is more important than their health and their safety.
We do right by them,
and they do right by us.
the hard-working folks
who proudly earn our living
in Pennsylvania's horse racing
and breeding industries.
Horse racing is a lot of fun.
But it's so much more.
It provides tens of thousands of jobs.
Jobs, and billions in economic impact each year.
All across the Commonwealth.
Horse racing in Pennsylvania. It's a winner.
Here in Pennsylvania, we're proud of our breeding program, the best in North America. But we're also proud to be leaders in this industry. The PA Horse Breeders Association is funding cutting-edge research at Penn Vet to detect gene doping in thoroughbreds. And we endorsed the SAFE Act to help end the slaughter of American horses. Plus, we're pleased to support the aftercare programs set up by our horsemen's groups. Just a few of the reasons why you should join us in Pennsylvania, the premier place to breed and race.
Welcome back to Let's Go Racing. Our news and notes is brought to you by the Granny Fund, which brings continuing education to our backstretch community. We have to talk about jockey Paco Lopez and Irad Ortiz. They are on opposite ends of the spectrum this week.
Yeah, what'd you say? Paco had a 5-win day. He's not in any trouble with the stewards. The day before that big day at Aqueduct, Irad, it was just bad what he did. I mean, just he ended up dumping another rider. He got 30-day suspension. He's lucky it wasn't longer. And then, of course, the next day he comes back and wins all the races and almost got DQ'd out of the Remsen. It's a bit of a wild week for Irad.
Yeah, and he made it kind of tight for his GOAT, Johnny V. I mean, I'm sure Johnny had something to say back in the room.
I'm sure he was not thrilled with how that played out.
Absolutely. Well, lots of craziness going around, but that wraps it up for Dick and I. We do race at Parks Racing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Post time is 12:10. We hope everybody comes out to see us. We'll see you next week on Let's Go Racing.